Hi, it's Doug Dane. Listen, when you experience a hard time or a difficult situation, you got to stop turning on yourself. That's what we do. Here's a daily tip from my book, Mistaken Identity, to help you live better. And make no mistake, I think you deserve better. I think too many people are struggling in their life because of their mistaken identity. They don't really understand how it's controlling them, what it's doing to them, and definitely how you, as I said, turn on yourself when things get rough. So listen, when you're making changes in your life, whether you want to, improve your business and grow your income, or quit your job and start your life. Whenever you set out to pursue something that's outside of the norm, outside your comfort zone, outside of other people's view of what your comfort zone should be, whenever we pursue something new, we're going to get uncomfortable. And getting anxious and feeling uneasy and feeling uncomfortable, that's all part of the process too. What we tend to do is we turn on ourselves. And I was talking to a young guy that I work with, and he's working on a business, and it's not quite working out the way that he had hoped. His plans aren't quite working out for him. And he was getting frustrated. I wrote him back, said, stop turning on yourself. Rather than questioning yourself, because that's our typical habitual learned way of doing things, why don't you question the process? Why don't you question who's directing you? Why don't you question what you're learning? Why don't you question something else besides yourself? But our mistaken identity likes to cause us to question us. So if you do anything unquestionable, meaning if you step outside the norm, your ego, your mistaken identity, your false self, it does not like change. And so you're going to create anxiety and uneasiness and this discomfort. And we don't like how it feels. We don't like the feeling associated to what is required to make the very changes that you want. And so we tend to turn on ourselves. And so this young client of mine asked me, why do we do that? I said, well, it's easy. When you were little, the adults, parents, teachers, churches, they were telling you what was right and wrong and what was good and bad. So if you were good, you got praise. If you were bad, you got punished. If you did things right, you got praised. If you did things wrong, you got punished, criticized, teased, whatever. And so we interpret that as judgment. In fact, that's what it was, is it because you were being judged. You weren't measuring up to the rules or the values or whatever it was. And so very quickly, you started to learn to take on that judgment, and you judge yourself at a very young age. The first chapter of my book, which is one of the most powerful chapters, is called Stop Judging. We were taught to judge, we learned to judge, we started to judge ourselves, and we learned to turn on ourselves. And literally, that's what the parents, the adults were doing. They didn't mean to. It's not that they didn't love you or care for you or anything like that, but they turned on you. So if you didn't get it right, they turned on you. They gave you a hard time, they punished you, yelled at you, whatever they did. Okay? And so you learned to do that to yourself. And so it's a learned, automatic, habitual response that's the first thing you do when things get uneasy or uncomfortable, or you start to feel anxious. That feeling that comes with anxiety, you turn on yourself. So don't do that. Just keep pursuing what it is that you want. Make sure you're clear on what it is you want. Keep going after it each day. Learn from your mistakes and your failures. That's all part of the process. And just keep moving, but don't turn on yourself, okay? That's your tip for today. Listen, if you're watching this on YouTube or on the podcast, click the follow button. If you want to fix any of these issues your mistaken identity is causing, and you want to do that for good, my book literally it's a 30-day system for turning your mistaken identity around, ridding yourself of your mistaken identity, unlocking who you really are, your true potential, and getting you unstuck fast. So I've found that when you uncover your mistaken identity, you get to the truth of who you really are, and the truth always sets you free. So I'd love to hear from you. Reply to this email, reach out to us, and I hope this tip helps you. Have a great day.